What's up, y'all? Coming at you today with the shoulder day. But specifically, what are we doing with shoulders? We're going to go ahead and hit rear delts and regular delts, or medial, maybe front delts. But yeah, so not going to spend too long. Hope everybody's doing good, doing fantastic on a Thursday. But I'm going to go ahead and do this isolated shoulder press. Gonna kind of go ahead and just do a couple of sets. Any specific type of rep count? Not really. Just kind of seeing like where I'm gonna end up kind of plateauing at. Once I feel like I did enough, I'll just kind of stop and go ahead and just start raising the weights. And then from there, we'll go ahead and work isolated on both sides, kind of see what we need to go ahead and do. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so we are done for that first set. So I'll be honest with you, as far as like when it comes to like shoulders today, I know I say like, yeah, I feel good like at the beginning and stuff, but something's kind of like telling me, you know what, it's gonna be a good day, but I feel like something's to come. I don't know what exactly. I think it's just like, what am I going to throw in? That's going to be like, yeah, you're doing too much now. But go ahead and get into the second set right here. Get these reps going, and then move on to the third set. Okay. Okay. Moving on, set number 3 right now. First set, did 20. Second set, seems like we hit 15, 12, 15. This set, go about 10, 12. Feels real good. Feels real nice. I think once I go ahead and work on isolated shoulder presses, or yeah, isolated, I think I want to kind of be a little bit heavy, a little aggressive with that one. So let's go ahead and get this third set going. That is it. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and work on some isolated inclines. So as far as hand placement, I was kind of having it close here up to the edge. I think I'm gonna kind of work a little bit more in the medial part, and that way kind of work a little bit more on the frontal delt. So I head for the other side. And as I'm going ahead and doing the push, as I've said in plenty of other videos, like dumbbells or even bench press or some sort where it's like a push movement, something light, of course. I always kind of like to have like the handle part like where my wrist area is on the palm, and just kind of push. Makes it a little bit easy for me. And you know, like the weight's not going anywhere. It's just either going up, it's going down. In this case, as I'm going and transitioning up, I want to make sure that I lock out. That way I go ahead and get a lot um, of concentration, mind, muscle concentration on our shoulders. And as I'm going ahead and doing the transition now, I want to kind of get as far as that range of motion down, almost to the point where my elbows are touching my side or flush underneath my armpit. As soon as I'm there, just going ahead to the top. So, okay, second set. Full. So we're gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna go for a third set, 10 reps each arm as we've been doing. And I'm gonna try and go ahead for like a max kind of like overload at this point. Something where maybe it's 5-10 pounds under what it could be for isolated, but not to the point where I just want to do it one time. I try to avoid as much of taking those breaks, but you know, like it happens. I know I do it quite frankly, but I try not, like I said, I don't need nobody to spot me. Now it's just kind of like a mind over matter thing. So let's go ahead and try and knock out 10 of them without stopping. Okay, let's go ahead and knock out our 10. Go ahead and do the other side now. And that is it for isolated shoulder presses. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going now to doing some lat pull downs. Well, for the lat pull downs, I'm gonna go ahead and focus medial and rear sides of our deltoids. Went ahead and grabbed like the easy bar rather than a straight bar. I feel by having the easy bar, it's a little bit more compact, a little bit more skinnier or close, tight. And as I'm going ahead and coming down, I'm gonna be super, super tight, super close to go ahead and start straining and contracting our rear delt and, you know, the back of our cervical side and thoracic area. And as we're going ahead and doing that, as I'm pulling down and I'm, you know, contracting, trying to squeeze and flex to really work that muscle and just kind of further development with it. So go ahead and start it off, kind of give you an idea and show you what it looks like from slight side posterior side. And that's really it, you know. Didn't start off with like a crazy amount of weight. It was kind of like something easy, kind of see where we're at, how I need to adjust myself, where I need to have myself positioned and seated. But great, nice, easy, regular, you know, nothing out the norm as far as pulling down. But go ahead and position you guys another way, maybe a little bit further back. That way you can kind of see the backside a little bit better. So bear with me. So that is it for the second set. To be honest, I'm not sure if you guys were able to see, but as I'm going ahead and coming down with the bar, aiming for the back of our cervical area, you know, you have cervical, thoracic, and lumbar area. You know, so your cervical area is practically from your skull to about almost to your shoulders. That's the cervical area. Anything down from your shoulder area, going a little bit down to the medial part of your back, it's your thoracic area. And, you know, last part is your lumbar. And then from there is your sacrum, which is like your tailbone area. But as I'm going ahead and coming down, controlling the weight, making sure that we're aiming for the back of our neck, putting an emphasis on those shoulders, shoulder blades, traps especially, because you're working trap area as well. And just that's about it, you know? So we're up with weight, and we'll go ahead and knock out these third sets and try and switch out this little accessory. And we are done with this accessory. I'm going now and setting up for lat pull downs, but it's not like we're going to go ahead and do lat pull downs, you know, from clavicle or chest area. So we're aiming for our head. So the benefits for that, same thing. Working traps, working backside, posterior side. You're working deltoids and two lats because you still have to go ahead and do a pull down motion. But as we're going ahead and coming here, you know, even if you were just to do imaginary, not having a bar or anything in your hand, we just simply go like here, as if we're kind of like flexing like this. The first thing that you're gonna feel is not your biceps, it's gonna feel like your shoulders. You're here, you're kind of flaring your elbows back rather than forward. You wanna keep back, 9 degrees, pull down, touch our head. You're gonna work on developing the medial and the frontal head delt, getting a nice little pump, and of course the rear side, just a little bit, not too much, but you're gonna start feeling good. So went ahead and got myself adjusted, 3 sets. Like I said, we're just touching head, coming up, touching up, and rest is history. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap hand placements. One's gonna be a little wide, and then one's gonna be a little close, just to kind of hit, you know, different little areas of that muscle group, and even the smaller muscle groups. And we are done for that first one. So let's go ahead and get situated for this closer grip. Same thing, you know, just tight. As I'm going ahead and dragging myself down for arm placement, I want to stay parallel and almost elbows kind of tucked in. Of course, they're not going to fully be tucked because you're touching your head, but almost think of like your elbows coming down to your side as you're pulling down. Okay, now let's go ahead and work wide. That's it for that one. That is it. So we're still here at the cable machine for lateral pulls. So I went ahead and added another accessory. This one I kind of do occasionally to kind of focus on the rear posterior side of our delts, you know, rear delts. And this one, I don't really do a lot of heavy weight on this because it kind of throws my equilibrium off, or balance to be exact. And as I'm going ahead and positioning myself, try to keep one knee and alternate both sides. One knee on it, back leg kind of supporting, alternate, because I really don't understand why, but I feel like I'm kind of doing justice for both sides because I may be using one side more than the other. So I try to keep everything kind of neutral and have some form of fluidity, and just simply keep it the same. So I'll go ahead and show you what I'm kind of looking for, aiming for, how far back I am, and kind of mix it around. But this is going to be 3 sets. We'll go ahead and do 20, 15, 10. And I went ahead and got cables because last time I did cables, I believe it was on a chest day. And when sat down here and we did pulls with ropes to kind of hit posterior side as well. But I think I'm going to go ahead and use these for rear delts as well. Because like I said, we're going to kind of hit rear delts aggressively today, and just shoulders in general. So let's go ahead and get into this one. So I'm not going to go ahead and show you guys me doing it twice. Kind of defeats the purpose because it's the same motion, same movement that I'm doing, just altering my legs. But you know, I'm doing each leg, but you'll see it the one time. But kind of going next now, it'll be a second set, and then when you see it again, it'll be third set. So like I said, it's nothing about like crazy weight. It's more of as we're going ahead and pulling, trying to keep our elbows flared out, coming back, As soon as we're coming back, squeezing backside, posterior side, thoracic area, and then coming forward, elongating, working on our range of motion. So let me go ahead and switch you guys up and try and get you seeing a posterior side, hopefully. So done for that second set. Transition to third. Nice, good. Kind of changed up foot placement, but now I'm really gonna kind of get you on the backside, then, you know, posterior side. So finish off this one for 10, and then we'll kind of go ahead and work our way into cables. So bear with me. And that is it for this accessory right here. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the cable now. So we're gonna go ahead and do some pulls off on the cables. But it's so weird because as far as finding an exact placement where I wanted to really hit rear delts, I can't pick between either 11 or a 12 like height placement. It's set on 12 right now, but I think I'm gonna kind of play with it and move it up and do 3 sets. So we're starting on the 12, go up on the 11, finish off on the 10. And as we're doing it, you know, I just want to go ahead and just pull, kind of almost bring my wrist inwards so that way I kind of, you know, have a little bit of extra play with having the ropes kind of curl in, and I get further back on that rear posterior side for delts. So yeah, you know, oh my goodness, I'm talking to you guys like almost like lustfully. But anyways, that's beside the point. Let's go ahead, jump into this, do the 3 sets, and not really even kind of stop, but just go ahead and knock it out, get it out of the way, and that's really it. And kind of show you different angles as always. So. That is it, folks. So either I might focus on something either at the station, or I might end up just going ahead and moving on. I got to kind of think about it for a little quick minute, so bear with me. I'm not going to do like multiple sets. I think I'm going to just stick 1 set for this. Go ahead and put it. Well, we're going to go ahead and do 1 set for this, 10 reps. And the reason why I kind of want to aim from up going down is kind of put more of a downward resistance, or I could say a complementary to to be exact, complement from a different position or a different angle on that rear side or the rear delt. So I'm gonna go ahead, hit it from top, make it come down, pause, and yeah, so you guys can see it from posterior side. That's it, folks. So let's go ahead and go on to the next station. So for here, we're gonna go ahead and I think this time around, I wanna go ahead and work on isolated, what is it, side lat pulls and dumbbell lat pulls. And I don't know, I just wanna, like I said, just kind of switch it up a little bit. So I think what I'm gonna do is do standing for 2 sets. Well, for the 2 sets, we'll go ahead and aim for 12 to 15 reps. Then for the last set, I want to go ahead and do concentrated dumbbell raises. I think that's where I want to go. I think I want to go ahead and do concentrated. That way I can focus a lot more on that muscle growth, you know? So let's go ahead and start this one off. We'll switch up the variations for one side and likewise for the other. And then when we go ahead and do the sit down, it's just gonna be 2 options. We're gonna go ahead and do standard, and then we'll go ahead and flare it off in a supination, pronation position. Well, we'll kind of decide. So let's go ahead and get jumping into it. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay. There you go. I gotta kind of take a little break for this last variation. And what's so different? I'm putting like a little difference, a little play, a little twist on it. Is rather than going ahead and having such a straight posture this time around, and you know, just being here and working off to the side and whatever, I want to kind of really kind of like get more. I always try and find something that's like, of course, switch up, but what else could I go ahead and do to stretch feel a little bit more tension, experiment on my muscles to see the better results. And of course, when I walk away or move on to the next workout, that's something that's easy for me or I have no problem. What's going to make the next workout a little bit challenging, a little bit more difficult, you know? And I'll tell you, just being here, being a little bent forward, slight bend at the knees or however, but still having a nice, you know, decent posture. I'm not swinging off to the side. I'm just kind of controlling the weight coming down and going up. Now, hey, I'll tell you this. You're like, hey, Jay, you know, it's hard for me to even bring it up. All right, you could do this option. Swing it going up, but as you come down, have total stability, have control of it coming down. It could work out that option too. Now, same thing, opposite side. You're like, man, it's so heavy, holding it, coming down or whatever. All right, have control going up, 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 up. As you're going ahead and going down, just let it swing down. Not, of course, like a pendulum or anything like that, but as you're going up, just let it swing, and vice versa. Too heavy or whatever the case is, you kind of do that. But we always try to keep each side the same. So if you do it off of one side, do it the other side. So let's go ahead and get this last one going and get this third variation. That way we go ahead and do, concentrated. So. And that is it. Went ahead and grabbed the 25s. I feel like it'll be something where I could lift it and it'll kind of go ahead and give me like a little challenge. I don't like going above something, and it's just human instinct. I don't like doing something that's going to make me uncomfortable or make me feel some type of way, because I always keep in the back of my head, like, I want to do it right. You know, I'm always kind of like a challenge for myself. Like, I want to do it right. I want to make sure I don't hurt myself. That's the last thing that I want to do, because if I hurt myself, guess what? I'm going to get pissed. And then if I hurt myself, I can't fucking work out. Excuse my French. But we'll see how the 25s go. I know I could do it. I could lift it. But like I said, I just want to make those rep counts count, you know? So let's go ahead. Same thing. Try and do 10. And after that, that's really it. So let's knock these bad boys out. So I'll say this, going in a neutral position, I was very shocked. I'm very surprised that it moved that well. Probably from working on forearms a little bit more, I don't know. But it was nice. But towards the end, starting to kind of feel it a little bit, kind of like tension pulling on some fires and stuff, but it's okay. We're already getting close towards the end. Still feeling it, you know. So, we're still going to stick with 25. We're going to go ahead for another variation. And then from there, do the last variation. And that is it. So let's get it, folks. Okay. I'll tell you, heavy for that one. But so went ahead and got it. I'm so happy about it. Let's go ahead and get that posterior side, the rear delt, get that going. And we are finished, y'all. Okay, folks, so we're gonna go ahead and work on traps. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wrist wraps to kind of have some leverage on grip. But I'm thinking we're gonna go ahead and do 80s. And from the 80s, kind of decide where we want to kind of go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 10 reps in for this. So go ahead and get this going. Oh, you're good. I'll tell you, 80s weren't bad. Not bad at all. So contemplating if we should go ahead and do 90s, 100s. I know I could lift the 100s, but I don't know. I don't know if that'll be kind of like I'm kind of chewing off too much than I want. I don't know. Maybe we go ahead and try the 100s. And as I always kind of preach, if it's too heavy, just go down. But we're gonna have that mentality that we can go ahead and get our 10 rep count with 100. So just bear with me. Ugh. All right. I don't think I was too satisfied with the 100 because I started losing my grip. Got probably up to like 5 or 6 mark, and then it just started changing up from there. So, as much as I really want to move forward and not keep making the mistakes and going back, I got to go back. So, I think from 80s, we'll go ahead and move up to 85s. That's what I'm thinking. I think we'll be satisfied for that. So, go ahead and get into the 85. Okay. 85s felt good. Only thing, they started slipping. But we're happy with those. I think There's another machine over there where I'm gonna end up kind of doing like an isolated. I'm gonna end up doing like an isolate. No, you're fine. I'm gonna end up doing like an isolated shrug. That way I can kind of get a little bit more further up, then kind of just slightly getting underneath the chin area. So as I'm coming up, I'm gonna get as close as to my ear or my mandible, jawline. So yeah, let's see if we can get access to that. Knock those out. I'm gonna do barely any talking, and then we'll move on to the other station. So, weight set it. I'm gonna adjust it the handles, kind of get a little bit further down that way as I'm shrugging down. Doesn't touch the bar, safety bars. So, two variations. I'm gonna do the first set, 45 for both sides. And I think we're gonna go ahead and start from supination, pronation position, but we're gonna start from the front. And then for the second side, I'm gonna go ahead and add weights, and then we'll go front sides, and then that's it. So go ahead and do 10, and I'm gonna go ahead and isolate it, and yeah. That's it for that one. Okay, going ahead into the second set. I'm going ahead and doing from the side. And we are done here. Now we're coming to my favorite machine for shoulders. The abnormal one. I call it abnormal, but we're going ahead and doing like the delt raises right here. So, did this last week in shoulder, I believe, yeah, shoulder video. And for this one, I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole 3 variations, but what I will do is I will end up doing rear, and I'll do probably frontal. I think that's what I'll go ahead and do. I'll do frontal and rear. So two sets, aiming for 10, 10, 12, or 10, 15 to be exact. And yeah, so you don't sit like this. I sit like this, but what you would normally do is turn yourself around, but I like doing this just so I can get a little bit more forward to go ahead and work on the rear part. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it and start off with rear. are done for that one. I'm ready to go ahead and get this last one out the way. I'm going to start off with frontal. Go from there. Okay. Kind of a little quick, little timeout. Get that last one out the way. So. I'm gonna have to drop the weight. I'm at 90 right now. Oh, it's 60. Get that going. That's it. I am done. I am done for the day for shoulder. So, I think I talked about doing cardio. My cardio is going to be on the Stairmaster. And then guess what? I'll probably end up talking to you guys during stretches. Or maybe a Stairmaster. But I think more so stretches. So, let's go. Okay, y'all. It's going to kind of get a little bit busy as far as locations for me to go ahead and do my stretch and try and get out of here. But I kind of found a spot. But today's day, as far as for shoulders, real nice, real good. A couple of things that I went ahead and did know, as far as like hitting rear delts, kind of using the cable machine and kind of putting the placement as far as for footing up against the padding, and the specific workout or the workout that I'm talking about is for lateral pull downs. Just kind of being a little bit back, pulling, and really trying to hit that thoracic area, But when it comes down to, like I said, just the shoulders and hitting rear, it was real nice. I didn't really do any shoulder presses, surprisingly, with dumbbells, but we did the isolated Smith machine. So, hey, it's okay, Sometimes it's like one of those things where you're like, you want to kind of like do the most for shoulders, but it's just kind of like, let's just kind of get in, get out type workout today. But I'll tell you this, hitting the rear posterior side was not a challenge, but a nice little goal that we set for today. I couldn't be really honestly any happier. But I think when it comes to doing, the shoulder exercises, take your time, find a way that's comfortable, and experiment. What's good for you, what's not good for you. What are you going to do to make the workout good, feel good, and not damage yourself at the end of it, Gave you a couple of variations just to kind of try out. If you can't do it, well, here's an option right here. Now, as I always say, if you have any comments, any kind of questions, leave it down in the comment section. I don't mind. But other than that, that's it for today, y'all. I'm going to have my little recovery days, and, just stay tuned for the next videos. I'm going to switch it up for you guys, Like I said, help me grow this channel and just kind of see how far we kind of go for this. But as always, thank you so much. Kind of finish up my stretches right now because of, everything that's going on. But I'll see you then, and ciao.